This was the first sub 5 average in cubing history, done by Tymon Kolasinski. It was a 4.86. With one of the most clutch solves in cubing history, Tymon sealed the deal and became the first person to get a sub 5 in human history. But this happened 631 days ago. Since then, Tymon has been slowly improving his times, his TPS, his efficiency, everything. And finally, it happened. He beat 4.86 with an insane 4.84, tying Rihangju for world record 2. But these solves really are something special, and I wanted to show them to you. So his first solve is a 413. So Tymon does white cross on this solve. He sees that his cross pieces are here, 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 and here. He's also going to take note of these two pieces, which are one move away from becoming a pair. So first, he's going to do an R prime and F to align these two. Then he's going to do a R to take this cross piece out of the cross because it's not in its correct position. Then a U prime D. Now if we look at these pieces, we notice that if we do an R prime, they're set up. So what he does is he does an R, F, R2 to set these up, because an RFR2 basically does the equivalent of an R prime to these pieces. He then inserts this piece and cancels into pairing these two pieces. He then inserts these two into the front, then he solves these two, and then does a D wide, and then inserts these two. Then he has OL, and then PLL. Now, that might have seemed like a pretty normal solve, for a solver like Tymon, that is. This solve is still super efficient, super well thought out, and just incredible. But he was able to execute this solution at 13.8 turns per second. You heard me right. 13.8 turns per second. Tymon is usually heralded as an efficient cuber, but never really a TPS spammer cuber. But here we can see that he's so capable of this TPS. If you just look at the solve, it's just pauseless. It's just perfect in every single regard. It blows my mind, honestly. His second solve is a 5.18. So this is his second scramble. He's going to notice that we have this one move square over here, as well as this giant yellow block. Using both of these things, he's going to build a double X cross on white. He planned all this in inspection, but I'm going to just solve it normally, just so that you can see how he did it. He's first going to do a D to solve this square, then an R white prime to set up this, then he's going to do an F2 to solve this, then he's going to do a D prime R to solve this entire block over here. Now, he wants to solve the edge relative to this corner, but it's in a really bad place, right? You have this really awkward pair. You never want to deal with that. So what he does is, to insert this edge over here, he's going to do a U prime wide, insert it into the cross, and then solve this edge like so. And then he's going to do another U wide to sort of solve everything. And now you have a double X cross. And the better thing is, it's in the back, which is really good for a look ahead. Now he's going to solve these two. And then he's going to solve these two while doing a sort of ZBLL alg. Now he's got OL and then PLL. Now something to notice is that he actually chose very carefully which Soon alg to do. Because if he did left Soon, he would have gotten an N-perm, which is really bad. But if he did an anti-Soon, he would have gotten a V-perm, which is even worse. So that's something to notice. Choose your OL algs tactfully, and you will actually be able to force better PLL algs. This was his third solve, and wait, what? What is this? So he has this really interesting looking yellow white cross, which is already a super easy white cross just to predict like further into inspection. He first does a B prime, and then a U prime, and then solves this like so. But that also solves these two pieces in the back. which he can use to make a pseudo X cross. By treating this as if it was already a solved F2L pair, he technically already has an X cross in mind here. Then he's going to do a UD, and then a RU R prime to solve these two pieces, and then he's going to solve this corner by doing an L prime U L. And now he has two of these things solved. Now he's going to solve these two pieces, and then these two pieces. And here you might notice that he could have done a sexy and then an insert, but instead he just went for the simple normal insert. Then he did a lefty OLO and then got a J perm. So I'm wondering if he actually saw that he would get a J perm if he just did a lefty OLO like while doing that last pair. I wouldn't put it past him, but like that's next level if he did that. Although I do just think that he might have just missed that winter variation because he was turning at 13.19 turns per second in the solve. What? So he did this on green cross, so I'm going to force it on white cross for our white cross enjoyers. So the reason that he chose this cross was because he noticed that this block was over here, so he could make an X cross with it. And so he does. He first inserts this piece into the cross, then a D to insert this. Now we have a very nice square over here that we can take advantage of. Then he's going to insert this piece over here, and then he's going to do a U prime D prime to insert this final piece. But while inserting that piece, he's actually going to cancel into inserting this edge, which is the corresponding piece to this corner. And then he's going to do a D2. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't do a U2 because that would have forced the pair in the back, but he did a D2. Then he's going to do these two. Then he's going to do a YD and then do these two. And then he's actually going to do these two rotationless by doing a sledgehammer and then solving them into the front. Now, for this case, he's actually going to do EO into ZB. And he's actually going to predict ZB from EO. Because the EO alg for this case doesn't actually change any of the corners. And it moves this edge over here. So this edge moves over here. And this edge moves over here. So he's going to notice that if this edge moves over here, we're going to have this bar. And if this edge moves over here, we're going to also have this bar over here. So we're going to have a giant bar over here. This edge will be preserved. And we are going to have like these two corners all be the same. So from that, he's going to recognize that we're going to get this ZBLL case. And this is actually a really good ZBLL case. It's just that algorithm. Super fast, super easy to do. Unfortunately, he locked up really badly on the ZBLL, which makes sense. The finger trips for the ZBLL are definitely really unsafe, but he still managed to get a 5.16 after all those lockups with 11.43 TPS, no less. But the more insane part was that this average had 4.49 best possible average. So, knowing that, he's going to go into the last solve. But before that solve, I have to tell you, this video is sponsored by the 3x3 Solvers Discord. Join that Discord. It's so fun. It's so awesome. It's just a good time. So, yeah. So he's going to do yellow cross on this solve, so I'm going to force it so that it's white cross. So the reason that he chose that cross is because we have this really nice looking bar over here, which he can make an X cross out of. So he's first going to solve this edge into the back like so, and then solve this corner into the front like so, as well as its respective cross edge. Then he's going to insert this edge like so to preserve this corner edge pair while solving this edge into the front. He's going to do a DU prime and then sledge this edge in as well. But while sledging this edge, he's going to notice that he can actually cancel into an F2L alg for this piece. So he's actually going to notice this halfway through building this X cross. He's going to do an F and then an F prime and then start the alg for this case. And then he's going to finish off the cross, leading to a double X cross. How did he see this? I don't even know. That's just crazy. But that's actually a cool alg for that case, I guess. it's useful to know weird outs to cases in case you want to cancel like that. Now he's going to do these two, and then he's going to do a D, and then he's going to do a ZBLL here. And then he's going to have a ZBLL here. And then he's done. But that solve was a 5.27. It was just a bit of a lucky solve, but it still had 10.44 TPS, which is just scary to me. It's scary that somebody can be so efficient while still having 10 TPS, 11 TPS, and even 13 TPS solves. So it's definitely clear that this man can challenge Yiheng. I'm so glad that Tymon Kolasinski got this average. This is definitely the best Polish accomplishment this weekend. There's definitely not another... Why do I hear boss music? Oh my god.